This is Kappenberger Dam. 23 Dorf Bar Shaft Lane. That's this would be the farm. They said it's not the original building, so this would be the plot. I'm not sure if this is their area or if this is their area, but this would be the plot of the original Gripshover farm. Johann's farm, at least Johann the Great. I don't know about his father or any of his ancestors or anything, but this is where he lived. And then the Burgermans would have lived right on down the road, right? So this is just outside of the Ottmarsbechold town. It's, you know, you see the ground that they're next to. You also see all the housing and all the barns and stuff, you know, all the property that they're able to. And that's, you know, one of the things, the reason why Germany is actually doing so good with its economics is everybody, you know, they want people in houses and they want people to have lands because you can develop things and create things better that way, and you have something to live and fight for. Whereas if you're just renting, then you're kind of just fighting for somebody else. Here's the vicinity of 23 Dorf Bar Shaft Lane to the town, right, to the city. So here you have like subdivisions, right, house on top of each other. But this is a farmland, so it's out, you know, out of the ways of the town. So they would have had to have traveled a little bit of a distance. I don't know. I guess it would have been horse and buggy, or I guess they could walk. They were used to walking 10 miles or so. Dorf Bar Shaft, right outside of Ottmarsbechold. This would be the Saint Urban Catholic Church would be here, and some other things too. Saint Urban Catholic Church, that windmill. Let's see, this Dorf Straff. So this says Dorf Bar Straff, Dorf Straff. I don't know what these words really mean. Here's a awesome 1883 land map. We see a lot of things here. We see John Cahill, so we've seen several Cahills. Here's another John Cahill. We see B. Gripshover, so that's Bernard Gripshover. We are also going to see another B. Gripshover down here. So we have two Bernard Gripshovers, one right here and then one right here. For some reason this B. Gripshover feels like this is where St. Pius is. And I don't know. Actually, if you drive this road, I think you could still drive because this is where the cemetery is going to be. I guess we could kind of find out where the church is and then find out the land and say this is where B. Gripshover is supposed to be. And I don't know. Two B. Gripshover. So is that Daddy Bernard and son Bernard? Is that Johann and is that Barney the Fourth or the Barney the Fifth? Or is that both Johanns or is that both Barneys? It's you know, we don't actually know. Here's H. Gripshover. So H. Gripshover in 1883 he's in his own house next to Valentine Bills. So Valentine Bills and Henry Gripshover, they're next door neighbors. And there's a school actually right across from Henry Gripshover. There's a school right there, right? So what's up with that school? How many people are going to that school? Is that a Kenton County school? Is it a Catholic school? Right across the way from Henry Gripshover. So, you know, what's his problem? Why does Henry Gripshover finally lose it? Sanford Town, a lot of stuff that's bunched up. We see BF Sanford right here, which has no D, right? So that's something to note. St. John's Asylum. So we got a little Saint Asylum right up here already starting out. St. John's Orphan Asylum. So again, this is where we put our orphans. This is where we put our mentally, you know, insane. So let us electroshock all these, you know, people that you say is insane society. Give us some people to shock society. We're a bunch of sadistic scientists who want to shock people. So here's Sisters of the Saint Benedict. So maybe that's where the church would be. I don't see where the church actually is on this map. Holy Guardian Angels. Okay, I see it. Holy Guardian Angels right there. So that's where Holy Guardian Angels is. And this road is still exists today. Junction Turnpike. It goes up that big old hill and circles around. I forget what the road's called today. There's a corner of Sanford Town and the other, Dudley. That's probably Dudley Pike right there. So another land map, again, a little wider, right? We see B. Gripshover, H. Gripshover, BF Sanford. St. John's Asylum, this turnpike here, Erlinger Station, Kenton Heights, a tobacco barn, right? So some of it's pretty specific, right? They even point out tobacco barn. So maybe that's just a house of Henry Gripshover and B. Gripshover has two houses or something. I don't know. This is Bishop Munster. I don't know what I'm talking about. East Bismarck of Munster. So actually the Holy Roman Empire, this was the area that bishops controlled, right? So this was the Munster, the bishopric of Munster, get to control all that area. So that would be, the Roman Catholics would say that they had jurisdiction over those areas. The red area there. Clinton Castle. I don't, maybe it wasn't. Castle Gardens. I don't know, man. I think it's Castle Gardens, right? Right where A is. That's where Castle Garden is, next to Governor's Island, Ellis Island. This is what is famous, right? They all started going there. Liberty Island. Here's the path that the Deutschland took, right? Leaving Bremerhaven, la da 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 da. Just going to drive right on by England. No crash into a sand thing. Kentish Knock, a sand shoal. That old house that I had saw that I didn't know where it was at, it used to be lying right here. It's all in ruins, but there's still some foundation there, some coal and some other stuff. I had parked actually a car like over here, across the street, went over here and walked all through these woods. This is a Kenton County prison, a Kenton County jail. They were dicks. I did not like how they treated me. I walked in to say that there was probably some archaeological, you know, there's slave graves. I heard there's slave graves in this forest area somewhere around here, I don't know. Somewhere around this area, right? So take off walking into the forest and then you'll find some slave graves. Where it's at, who knows? Would these people know? Would these people know? Who would know what is actually around this area? I walked around, but I kept on getting nervous because there was a lot of hunting was there, so a lot of deer stands, and so, you know, in general for the sort of the deer and whatnot, you know, you can kill the animals, but I'm sitting there thinking that they might think I'm an escaped convict and people just might start open fire on me. But that's the slave graves around there. I think I could ask some neighbors or I could ask some people to find out exactly where it was at. Right, so this is the new jail, and this is Kenton County, and they're putting their fucking seat right on either slave graves of slaves that, you know, we had owned and supposedly treated nice, or part of my 11% African blood heritage, right? This could be my grandmother or grandparents that they're burying here. So this could have been my ancestral lands that they're desecrating, right? And they shouldn't do that. They at least dig them up and rebury them someplace in a, you know, a sanctimonious spot. Again, Dudley Pike, Horse Branch Road. I'm not sure what this actually is. John Bills, 94 acres. Mark Pleasant. So actually we get to see the acreage. I don't see any. E. Kunkel, 30 acres. Eubank, 28 acres. So we see John Bills. We see P. Hillman or Hellman. Don't see any Gripshovers in there. Edgewood. George Gripshover, 93 acres. So this is on Stevenson Road. So who has George Anthony Gripshover? George Anthony had the Damasco. So they had a big ass, George Anthony and Damasco, they had a big ass farm. Is that what you're trying to tell me? George Anthony was not only, he had a big ass family, but he had like a fucking big ass fucking piece of property. 93 acres? What George Gripshover could we be talking about? You know, 93 acres right in Edgewood, Erlinger, right? Turkey Foot Road, Stevenson Road. I don't know. George Gripshover, 93 acres right there. That's pretty exciting stuff. Where'd that land go? There's the Stevenson Road Farm. There, I just named it. Okay, so George Gripshover's road on Stevenson Road. So the Stevenson Road Farm. Who owned it? Where did he get it from? Did he buy it straight out? Was it passed down? And if so, who did it go to? Who did it go to next? I want to know everything about the Stevenson Road Farm, George Gripshover's farm. Sisters of St. Benedict, Orphan Asylum, Holy Guardian Angels, Miss K. Bills, I think. School, some of the similar things I already pointed out. B. Gripshover, H. Gripshover, V. Bills, Miss K. Bills. Is that Verkamp? I think I see a Verkamp down here. I guess I could look. It's already blurry, so I don't know. Okay, I have no idea. That maybe Hump or Rump. I don't know. Seen all this. Alright, yeah, I want to make sure I didn't lose it. Right, who lives there? I have no idea. Lakeside, Kenton County, Dixie Highway. Who am I looking? Who's right off of 275, right off of Dixie Highway, living on Lakeside? It's a good question. There's Orphanage Road right there. Right. I don't know. Earthweiler. Here's where Earthweiler was. I showed some pictures of the towns of Earthweiler. This is the coat of arms of Earthweiler. And it's in the Rhineland-Palatinate, Southwest Palatinate. Here's the French Empire, right? So you have, these are the islands right here. From the Blanchetts are on these islands of Maritanus and La Réunion. This is Bourbon Island and Island of France, right off the coast of Madagascar. And then you have Guadeloupe, which had been one of these islands here, right next to Grenada and some of these other ones. But this is the French Empire. So at one point, the French owned like everything, right? Half of Africa. They definitely, this is France, right? They already have France, but ours is Spain, Germany, some of these countries here, some of these countries, this one, some of India, some of the Indochina. They got little colonies here on the side of South America, and then Haiti's, Dominican Republic, and then they got, you know, the middle of fucking America, right? Down the Mississippi River, all the Great Lakes region, and then whatever those tributaries, wherever those tributaries were. But after 1763, the end of the French and Indian War, all of their possession of the North American, all their claims of North America are dropped. They actually dropped their claims of, you know, above Canada. So the French had Canada, they had a substantial part, but they dropped Canada in exchange for Guadeloupe because they actually had more valuable sugar plantations in Guadeloupe. So they give up all of Canada just for that tiny ass island. Haiti was one of the most productive islands, you know, in the entire fucking world. So it's weird how people can take, you know, slave labor and fucking fear and how much shit they can be fucking produced, you know, when it's just all making it all just for one person, and you don't care about life, and you just care about, you know, production and growth, right? If you only care about growth. I don't know, is that Philippines? There's some China, there's everywhere. You can look at this map closer if you want to. It's France's domination, right? Here's German dialects. This is fascinating because, you know, we're right around here, right? Munster, Germany is actually right there, is number 6. And number 6 is Westphalian. So they say Westphalian German dialect is all this right here, all this sort of piss color yellow, right? The lighter color yellow, I don't know, it's 5 and 4. So 5 and 4 is Dutch Low Saxon, and then Groning's East Frisian. So Dutch Low Saxon is right there, East Frisian, but Munster, all this is all together. So this is all Westphalian German language. It's the dialect that they're speaking. We can also say what's in the blue here and sort of what's in the central one. So let's look at, let's just take a look at 17. So it's Franconian. 19 was Hessian. So the Hessians are right there. 15, blue. Low Rhenish, so people are speaking Low Rhenish right there. So it looks like, I would guess, Westphalian is the type of German. The Platzdeutsch. Platzdeutsch is just Low German. So there's specific Platzdeutsch out there, and I think the specific Platzdeutsch of the German ancestors were Westphalian. That's the language we were speaking, was Westphalia. Here are the 16 states of Germany. So we get to take a look. There's also Saarland. There's Platzdeutsch, Saarland, Platzdeutsch. They all were distinctive. So you had Saarland, then you had Westphalia. But you have Schleswig, Holstein, right? This was a war against Germany. We fought for, or war against Denmark. Prussia fought against Denmark in order to get that territory. There's Hamburg right there, Bremenhaven, Bremen, Berlin. Brandenburg is the state Berlin is in. Bremerhaven, right? Hamburg. These are city states. This is the Rhineland, Pfalz, Saarland, Baden-Württemberg, Bayern. This is Bavaria. Bayern is also Bavarian. Rhineland, this is just Rhineland, and then Pfalz is Palatinate. That's what it means in English. Pfalz, that's Palatinate. So this is Rhineland, Palatinate. This is North Rhine, Westfalen, Niederschneidna, something, Hessen, Thuringen, Sachsen, Mickelberg, Vamperen, Baden-Württemberg. So you don't have to know all of them, but know that we came from, you know, North Rhine-Westphalia. That's where German or Munster is. That's where most of our peoples are. North Rhineland even today is in North Rhineland-Westphalia. It's next door to the Netherlands. It's northeast Germany, not completely northeast, not bordering, you know, the water, but it's right here, right? So it's maybe due east. And it's got 5 districts, right? 5 major districts inside of it. This is where the Hessians are from, so they're right next door to where most of the Prussian Johann Gripshover and Anna Katharina Gripshover came from. The Hessians, this is the Kunkels. Bavaria, this would be Marie Waginger. Damasco, this is where Damasco, the wife of Maximilian, came from. So, right, that's just a temporary, little bit of an overview there. This map is actually a really good map for where the Germans immigrated into America. So when they come to America, where did they live? They did not live in the deep south. You want to sit there and say, fucking, I'm a Confederate, you don't know your culture and heritage. Motherfucker, you don't know your fucking culture and heritage. You want to sit there and say, you fucking Confederates, you don't know shit about yourself. Because look where the Germans went. Did they live in the deep south? Were they for the Confederacy? No, they was totally against slavery. They fought, I think there was like 200, officers, and 190 of them fought for the Union. So just the tiniest bit of, the fucking Germans fought for the, and they all lived in the North. So why would they not fight for the Northern, Yankees? Why would they not fight for the industrialists? So they all went to the North, and right there, some of them went to Cincinnati, some of them went to Louisville, but most of them looked like they went to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and then it kept on going, right? Minnesota, Iowa, along this river, whatever this river is here. So they just kind of kept on going out west, northwest, right? So they did not go deep south. They did not go down to the plantation land, right, where they just murdered a whole bunch of fucking white people in defense of the right to own slaves. So no way Germans were going to go down there. Some of them went to New Orleans, but most of the Germans actually, lived north of Kentucky. North of Kentucky. Most of them didn't go into Kentucky. So the ones that did come into Kentucky just were in Covington, right? They just kind of dripped down from Ohio, from Cincinnati. Porkopolis, is known as a big German town. Over the Rhine. Over the Rhine is literally over the Rhine River. So it was a German town. That's where the Germans lived, was in over the Rhine. And they called it over the Rhine, kind of mocking Germans, but it stuck. Because where did the Germans live? Well, past the Rhine River. So just go past the Rhine River, which is a canal. Just go past the Canal River, and then that's where you'll find the Germans. Just over the Rhine is where the Germans are. So Hohenfurth is a place with a very small population, the state region of Johoseski. Yeah, this is Hohenfurth, right? Hohenfurth, the Vicissy, Broad. There's this river and all these words that I don't know or understand. Here's some more Westphalian dialects, right? So again, Westphalian is the language that we're speaking. Northern dialects, and it's right next to Netherlands, so it's kind of saying the same thing over and over again. Westphalian. This is Low Saxon, kind of in our area, but not really. Here's the path that the Damascus had to go in order to get to America. The Maximilian Damascus was born in Vichy Broad, right? So this is the Czech Republic right here. He's born in Vichy Broad, but then they get married in Vienna, Austria. So he's able to go from the Kingdom of Bohemia to Vienna, Austria, and then from Vienna, Austria, it goes to Bremenhaven, and then he leaves Bremenhaven on to America. So, that's the path of Maximilian Damascus. Here's Munster, and then we can see Ottmarsbachelt. So we can see how far Ottmarsbachelt is actually from Munster. So we see Ottmarsbachelt, we see Sinden is really close. Aschaberg, Davensburg is really, really close. Munster is like the biggest city, but actually we got several other big cities sort of around us. Aschaberg and Davensburg, Sinden, London's Hausen. But Ottmarsbachelt, it's its own little town, its own little municipality, right? But it sort of shows where Ottmarsbachelt is situated close to Munster. So if you could find Munster on a map, then just know that, drop down maybe, a centimeter or two is Ottmarsbachelt. If you see Aschaberg and Munster, you'll know that it's like right there, right? So if you see any of these other cities, but you don't actually see what the one you're looking for. Here's some more groups for the Nordrhein-Westphalian. So this is what I think this is languages in Nordrhein-Westphalia. So if we were to, sort of look at what I was talking about, go to, see, Dusseldorf. We're looking for Ottmarsbachelt. So where would Ottmarsbachelt be, or Munster, Germany? Belgium, Netherlands. I'm not seeing it. Orangeburg. Was that one? Aschaberg. It's not really Aschaberg, is it? That's Dortmund. Okay, so I don't really know what this map is showing me. at all. Except for dialects, there's Northern Niederdeutsch, Westfalisch. So that's sort of what the Westphalian German language, what that word looks like. They got like a U over the Westfalisch, or is that two dots? So Westfalisch. What do you speak? Plattdeutsch. Well, specifically what do you speak? All Westfalisch. And Westfalisch, I guess by induction, is this big splattering. Here's Munster. Here's Munster right there. And so Dolman, Selm, this is Westfalisch, right? So good. I'm just gonna write that down. We spoke what type of Plattdeutsch is just a lower German, but we spoke Westfalisch. That's the dialect of German that we spoke, was Westfalisch. Okay, so that's exciting. That's a good find. So everything Westfalisch now. I'm going to become obsessed with everything Westfalisch. Dusseldorf, North Rhine, Dortmund. We've seen all of these actually kind of cities before, so we're looking at like right here, right? This is where we're at, like right here. So Dortmund is right there, Dortmund, and then Munster is kind of due north, and then we're going to be sort of like, you know, around here somewhere. So Munster, Dortmund. Dortmund is there, Munster going to be there, and we're going to be right around the W, right? So this is where the Gripshovers would have lived. West, due east, this way to the right is, this would be the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, where the Romans and the Germans fought. The Germans defeated the Romans, and then they never tried to come into Germania again. And then if you was to go down and like to the left or so, down here is where Neanderthal. They found the Neanderthal Valley. They found the Neanderthal bones. That's why they named it after the valley of the bones that they found it at. So we lived really close to Neander Valley, and we lived really close to the Teutoburg Forest. So expansion of Prussia throughout the years. 1807, right, there's all the blue. Then 1815 they get all this other land, and then 1865 after the Danish and Austrian wars they get all the blue land here, and then after the empire, right, or after they fight France, they get all the rest of these territories. All the rest of these territories go to Prussia. So that's Germany. This is the expansion of Prussia from 1807 to 1871. This is Prussia becoming Germany. Prussia was able to consolidate all these German-speaking nationalities, right? All these German-speaking countries. 16. Is that Westphalia? Is that us? Or is that the Nordrhein, you know, one of them, or Hessian or something? I don't know. We're around there. If we're not 16, we're number 4, right? Which had been gained after the Danish and Austrian. So we weren't even Prussian until, you know, after 1866. But what were we beforehand? We're just Westphalisch. We're just a bunch of Westphalisch assholes. So Dorf Barschaft 23, that's where it's situated in Germany. Ballweiler, that's another city somewhere, you know, this is, I don't know, it's Saarland. It says it's in Saarland. So this is where somebody is from. You got Saarland, which is the corner of Germany. Saarland, I think, is like right here or right down here. It's basically the southeast or southwest corner of Germany. And so that's the district. And then on the point on the very bottom of Saarland, which is up here, Ballweiler is that city, and that's the coat of arms of Ballweiler too, right? Incorporated in 1974. More pictures of the 1873 land map. I'm real excited about this thing because it showed a lot of things beforehand. Here's this map. Actually, I'm glad I came back to it. Lawrence Drive, Bernard Drive, and then Catherine Drive. Those were the children of Joseph. Children of Joseph. We're going to find that out actually right now too. It's already 23 minutes. Let's check out, see how many. It's almost to the very end. So yeah, let's finish. We can finish up in this time. So we're going to check out Ancestry.com, and we're going to try to find out who Lawrence Bernard, I think it's Barney or Joseph. Barney or Joseph. Barney has George Anthony. Just George. Okay, so George Anthony we know has kids, but do we see I don't know. I know Lawrence and them don't have any kids, so I guess maybe I probably could just type in maybe Barney the 6th or Lawrence Gripshover. Those will find what I need. So, you know, here's Ancestry.com. Go to my family trees. The master family tree was the big one, the one that I have mostly one of. I tried to start one from Jake's perspective, but really once you get past the grandparents, we have the exact same one, so there's no point in being redundant. I have cleaned this up a bit. Probably need to do a little bit better. I'm looking at right now finding this tree. So I'm gonna look up Lawrence Gripshover. And he probably would have died, what, 1940s or so? 1961. There we go. So Lawrence Joseph Gripshover, right? So this is Lawrence Joseph Gripshover and Bernard Gripshover and Catherine Gripshover, the people's names, that's in this picture that give up the land for St. Pius X. You're also going to have Elizabeth Gripshover, right, who becomes a nun. So we have someone who becomes a nun. We got, they're pious, man. This family is really pious. Now, this is saying that he come from Bernard, okay? So this map is saying that Lawrence and Bernard come from Bernard. But they didn't have any children, and neither did the nun, right? So the only person that actually had children from Mary, Bills, and Bernard was George Anthony. If it wasn't for George Anthony and his million kids, then there perhaps would not be Barney the Fifth might not have actually had any of his progeny, passed along. So Mary Bills and Barney the Fifth, we might not have known any of these folks if it wasn't for George Anthony and Marianne Damasco having Teresa. Also had Betty Gripshover, Teresa Gripshover, who will marry, who will marry Camillus, and then you'll have Betty Gripshover, who will marry George Henry Leo Blanchett. So that expands the family big time. There's other relationships out of George Anthony, big families that marry into it. I don't know if it's maybe the Arling House or Burgermans or something, but I haven't got them all memorized, but I am getting better at it, right? As you explain it, as I create these things, I am learning a lot actually out of all this. So this has been fun for me. So yeah, Bernard the Fifth, it has Bernard the Sixth. Bernard the Sixth had no kids, neither did Lawrence. So Lawrence and Bernard's are Bernard's children, right? Bills, Mary Bills, and then it's going to be the man is going to be George Anthony Gripshover. He's going to be the man. So that's enough of this. Finish this up, right? So St. Pius X Church, we see right where it's at. We see the famous Dudley Pike going right through there. That's why it seemed like B. Gripshover would be like these people here, and then these lands. They just named it after their kids. Catherine Drive, Lawrence Drive, Bernard Drive, named after the land that they give. Okay, so the battle at the side of the Teutoburg Forest. This is northern Germany, right? Here's Nordrhein-Westphalen. This is Dortmund. So we would actually have Dortmund, and then we'd have what Munster is probably due north of Dortmund. And then right there is where Ottmarsbachult. So not really due east, but a little bit northwest. I mean, just very northeast, very tiny northeast. I'm thinking it's like over here somewhere, but it's actually right there, right? So it's really close. It's kind of close to Bremen and Bielefeld and Dortmund, but really it's in its own location, right? So that's where Teutoburg Forest is, and that's where the big battle is. So we live down here, and then that's where the big battle is. So to think that maybe the German barbarians, we might have actually been related to some of them, I don't think it's that really far of a stretch. That story, original story, is sort of the birth of Germany, right? Back in the day, you had the Hanseatic League, which was just a merchant sort of culture, and so they used the same currency, and they had station uniformity, and they had the same language. The lingua franca was lower level German. So whereas now the lower level German is sort of looked down upon, and nobody speaks it because it's going to be a dead language. At one time, it was the lingua franca for the Hanseatic League. So for all these people, they all spoke the same language, and that's how they're able to interact with each other. And here's Brugge, right? Brugge. So a man from Brugge would be a Brugge man, right? Probably. And then Brugge man, that's next to Belgium and the Netherlands, and that's also right next to England. So were the Bruggemans, were they actually from England? And Katharina, right? We're around here somewhere. That's where they're from. So how did they come from here to there? I don't know. Maybe they didn't. It's also possible that it was just it was blind luck. So here's Essen, Dus, Wipperfürth. So Westphalish, right? Munster, Westphalish. Again, Westphalish. That's the language that we're seeing spoken. Here's Munster again, number 6, and it's Westphalian. So we're getting it, just 15. It could be 15, right? So it could be Rhenish. It could be use Rhenish. But Westphalish, if I was a betting man, I would bet Westphalish is the language that we spoke. That's where 23 Dorf Barschaft and Otmar's betrothed. That is where these people, that is what they spoke. They spoke Westphalish. What is Westphalish? I will look it up, and if it's important, I'll come and tell you. If not, peace out, nigga.